Hi there, I'm Nikita and welcome back to my channel. So 2019 is coming to an end, and before I enter into the new year of 2020, I decided to make a video about all the good things that have happened to me in this year. I believe that when you focus on the good things, you tend to be grateful about those things that have happened to you. You tend to be more humble and you tend to have more humility. So it is not about basically forgetting the bad things, but remembering the good things often so that you have a positive outlook or you focus on the positive things of your life. None of us have a life that is free of bad things or bad experiences or failures, but when we focus more on the positive things, then the life gets easier and you tend to be more happy. So this video is also no cut video. If you will see until the end. I wanted to make this no cut video because whenever you have an opportunity to cut the video, then you can delete your mistakes and give the perfect picture. But this video I wanted to make in one go because sometimes when you make no cut videos, then the emotions that you have really are captured by the camera. So what are we waiting for? Let's go for it. Before I start, I have few things that I've written on my phone, so I might often look in my phone because I do not remember everything that has happened to me, like the good thing that has happened to me. So please ignore my looking at the phone. In the very beginning of this year, I wanted to publish some of the papers. As you know, and if you do not know, I am doing my PhD, and it's been 3.5 years that I'm into my PhD. And there is a limit in our university that you have to publish so many papers to be able to reach the defense. So I decided to publish some papers, and I remember in the beginning of this year I had this feeling that what if I'm not able to publish papers, then this year will be gone again, and then I have to complete this limit in the next year. But somehow I thought, okay, how about just trying it? And I know this feeling, or I have experienced, how do you say this, rejection when you submit a paper, not publish. When you submit a paper and then you get an email after a few weeks that your paper has been rejected, it's a very bad feeling because you give so much time, effort, and nights and hours of work and hours of drinking coffee, and you put so much of things into it, and suddenly when you get to know that it has got rejected, you feel really bad and disappointed. And I have had these experiences in the previous years, so I wasn't sure whether my paper will be accepted or not, but at the end of the day it got accepted. And the good thing about this year was that not one but two of my papers got accepted, and I got an opportunity to publish them in a conference journal. So these were so this was one of the many things that I started my year with, and this was one thing that made me really happy because I did not only reach the limit, the number of papers that you should have before you get into defense, but I also realized that failures are just a part of success. So I can say I realized, I knew it since long, but there are things that you know them, that like sun rises in the east and sets in the west, but you do not want to accept them. So this thing that failures are a part of success is one of those many things that I knew but I did not want to accept. But when my papers got accepted and I got an email that yes, you are welcome to this conference, I was pretty happy, and I realized, okay, no matter how many failures you have, but if you keep working towards your goal, you will see one day that you will succeed. So the beginning of this year came with very good news that my papers got accepted, and I was pretty happy about it. The second thing that happened that was very, very nice, that my mom visited me, and it's like she visits every second year because every alternate year I go to India and then alternate year she comes to me. But this year she visited me twice, and this because there was a possibility of having multiple visa, which I did not know before. And there was a situation this year that you will get to know later, like later in this video, that she had summer vacations, and I asked her, how about you come to us, and my husband and I, we all would travel with you. And she thought, okay, if I come now, then I won't be able to come in October. But somehow I searched online and I got to know that there is a possibility of having multiple entry visas. I applied for it and my mother got it. So again, this tiny thing that I was pretty sad in around March and or April, that if she's not able to come, it's not nice. She's alone in India for the summer vacations, and I myself cannot travel to India due to some health reasons. So I tried to search what is a solution, and I found online this multiple entry visa, and somehow it worked out. She got the visa and she visited me twice this year, which is another big thing that is not happening regularly, and I'm sure it will not also happen often in the future. It's expensive and it's tiring for her, and it's a complete change of environment. So I'm pretty glad that my mom visited me, and she visited me twice this year. Another thing that happened to me after that is I got my license, my German license, which was a big thing for me since like so many years. I always wanted to make a license here, but I somehow did not show courage. Actually, I had the courage, but I was also scared at the same time. So I thought, okay, postpone it as much as I can. So I did. I procrastinate often. But then roughly around March or February, I decided that no, I have to make my license and I should finish it no matter what. So I decided to make my license. And I finished it, I believe, in the middle of the year. So I passed my theoretical exam, I passed my practical driving exam, and I got my license, which is another thing that I'm very grateful about, because the moment I have license, I have this freedom of driving everywhere. I'm not limited. Although I do not use driving, I do not use cars this often because I live pretty close to university where I'm doing PhD, so I take public transport every day, but still like to go to grocery shopping and to go to visit some friend who is living like far, like 200 kilometers away, and trains don't offer a good connection. You can just take your car and go. So this was another thing that was really, really making me happy this year. Another thing that was amazingly good, which I had been waiting for, let's say 3 years, was 10,000 subscribers. I know people achieve 10,000 subscribers like in 1 year, 1 month, sometimes in a week. But for me, it took great time, and it's okay. Patience is the key to success. I am glad that I reached 10,000 subscribers because I never imagined that I would reach. So I knew somehow that I will reach 10,000 subscribers, but I did not know when. So when this year I reached 10,000 subscribers, I was like, okay, yeah, YouTube is working. And for me, YouTube was not like I want to reach to some success and I want to reach some number. Sometimes this thought comes, but basically I wanted to just have a hobby, a part of my PhD, which is a full-time job. I wanted to have something that gives me happiness and satisfaction, and is something other than just watching series, binge watching series, and just sit at home and doing nothing. So I'm very happy that I reached 10,000 subscribers, and thanks to you, that your support and your love and your affection has made me reach this milestone. Next thing that happened is when my mother was here in the summer, my husband, my mother and I, we went to a long Greece trip, which was a trip which I made with my mother after a very long time. And I must say that this was a trip that I understood my mother more than ever. Before that, I was somehow, I was close to her, but I understood her somehow. I do not know why more. And I realized that you should really make such trips with your families, because it's not about spending time at home, it's about spending time around the world, because you never know what situations occur and in which situations how you react and how your parents react. So travel is a good way to connect to not only people who are unknown to you, but also people who are very close to you. So I'm very glad that my mother came. She visited twice this year, and above that, I went to a Greece trip with her, and I really, really enjoyed knowing her more from a different point of view somehow. It might sound crazy, but it really happened, and I think I will make definitely more travel trips with her to know her more and more. Another thing is that it actually happened in the Greece trip. We were in Greece, and in the last 3 nights we stayed on an island, and there, a first time ever in my life, swam in the Mediterranean Sea, so Mediterranean Sea, and that was mind blowing. It was mind blowing because of one reason that I will come to soon. But the second reason why it was mind blowing is that I never was able to swim. I learned swimming like a year ago or 2 years ago, and that too, I just can't swim in the swimming pool, that too not for long. I get tired after like 10 minutes because my body's not used to it. So I was pretty scared, but thanks to my mother, she was scared, but she still like let me go to the ocean, to the sea, and swim. I swam and I enjoyed it amazingly, like amazingly good. I cannot express right now. It was surreal. It was mind blowing that when I stepped into the water and I had those snorkeling glasses and I looked down, I could not breathe for first 5 minutes properly. I was so scared because I first time in my life saw it below inside a sea, and that wasn't also this deep. I did not go into deep water, but even around like the how do you say, directly where the sea starts, the water starts, it was amazingly well. Second thing, or the first reason why I was very happy or like scared to go in the Mediterranean Sea to swim was that I was pregnant this year, and my husband and I are blessed with a beautiful baby girl, and this is something that tops everything that happened to me this year. And I think if you heard, or if you're hearing, she's the one who's sleeping right now, like close to me, and she's the one who I think so also like she pooed right now. So I was pregnant this year, and in this Greece trip I was also like 5 or 6 months pregnant. That's why I was very, very, very scared before I went into the sea to swim. I know nothing wrong can happen because my husband was with me and he can swim pretty well. But still, you were scared to do things because you have this thing in your mind all the time that your baby is inside you, and if something happens, it will happen to you as well as the baby. And if you're nervous, if you're scared, that is definitely communicated to the baby. So I was scared, but I knew nothing will happen, so I had the courage, crossed my fingers, pressed my thumbs, and I just not jumped into the sea, but I slowly walked into the sea, and I walked and I swam. So these were the amazing, like the most beautiful things that have happened to me this year. And this is also one reason, my pregnancy is also one reason that I was not this regular in making videos in the end of this year, because I was busy having a baby and taking care of her, which is definitely overwhelming. I will talk about this probably in another video. So I am right now already feeling this excitement that I felt each time I had one of these experiences or these achievements that I had during this year. And I now believe it strongly that the more you think about the good things that happen in your life, the more you talk about them, the more you share it with them, share these with the other people, you feel much more better, and you see how nice your life is. At the same time, as I also said in the beginning of this video, it does not mean that you should overlook the failures. You should not think about the failures or the bad moments. But at a certain point in time, you see that the more you focus on your good things, the more the bad things disappear, or the more weak they get. And it's definitely essential to learn from your failures and your bad experiences and get mature on them. but it definitely makes sense and is worth thinking and talking about your good moments. So I hope you like this video and you could connect to me. And if there's anything that has happened to you in this year which you would like to share and is good, and you are motivated and you were happy that it happened, then do share it with me in the comments. And I would really like to know, because I'm sure in these whole 360 days, like 5 days are still left, in this time period of 360 days, there must be definitely one thing that has happened in your life that you definitely want to share. So don't forget, comment and let me know what was this good thing. And before my baby starts to get cranky and that gets recorded in the camera, because it's a no-cut video, actually no-cut video, one-shot video, I would like to sign off. And I wish you a nice day, evening or afternoon, whenever and whatever time you're watching this video. If you're seeing that Christmas tree, then Merry Christmas, because today is 24th December, and much love.